We're back in today, NFL Week 12 predictions. Week 11, so far so good, 9-3. The 4:30 games aren't officially over yet while I record this, but as long as the 49ers win, as long as the Bills hold on against the Chiefs, which things are looking decent right now, should be 9-3 heading into the Sunday night games. I have the Bengals winning, I have the Texans winning. Now, heading into Week 12, right? The overall record's 114-46, looking good. I thought this could have been an amazing week, but there was a couple teams that didn't necessarily pull out like I thought they would have. Of course, the Steelers won. Every time I pick them, I always get it wrong. Then we have the Falcons. I mean, the Falcons can never do anything right, can they? But Week 12, first game, Steelers at Cleveland Browns. The Pittsburgh Steelers, man, they're a good team, 8-win team. I mean, the defense is insane. The defense is really nice, but they couldn't punch in any touchdowns against the Ravens. The Cleveland Browns, they're trash. Yes, Jerry Jeudy looked like Randy Moss, but they're not good. The Browns, it's a home game, they're going to lose by a lot. The spread, 5.5 points. Can the Steelers win by a touchdown considering they didn't score any touchdowns? I think the Steelers bounce back and cover the spread here against the Browns on Thursday Night Football. Titans at Texans up next. The Texans, man, we haven't seen them play yet on Monday Night Football. I'm expecting a double-digit win against the Cowboys, surely, right? The Titans, I mean, the spread for this game is 7.5 points for the Texans. Obviously, it's a home game. Nico Collins should be back in a big way on Monday night. The Titans the Titans failed to cover a similar spread against the Vikings. So, I mean, the Texans should cover this as well. 7.5 points. Now, I don't like betting more than one touchdown unless it's the Lions. I went all in on the Lions, minus 13 versus the Jags. But the Texans should still cover, but I would go minus 7 for a little bit smaller payout. Vikings at Bears. NFC North right here. Chicago Bears, they should have beat the Packers. Embarrassing that they did not beat the Packers. Blocked field goal, and the Bears kicking troubles carry on. They carry on. And then we have the Minnesota Vikings. I don't really like how the Vikings have looked the last couple weeks. Scam Darnold is back to seeing ghosts like he was saying when he was with New York. It's just not good, man. It's not good, and it has me concerned. I'm not going to lie, I'm very concerned. Justin Jefferson's not really getting involved as much as he was earlier in the season. Aaron Jones is kind of a non-factor. Figure it out. Vikings 4-point favorites here. I'm going with the Vikings money line for sure. And then covering a 4-point spread. They didn't cover last week, but they covered against the Titans without really any, amazing ground game or passing game. I'm going to go with Minnesota here to cover the spread as well. Cowboys at Commanders, battle of the NFC East. And the Commanders are going to bounce back in a big way. Now, the Commanders are 9.5-point favorites here. I'm going to have to think about that spread. 9.5 points is a lot. The only reason I say that, I mean, the Cowboys suck. We know that. But the Commanders, Jaden Daniels looks like the injury to his ribs is kind of affecting his passing ability. So really, it's a matter of, can I trust Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler to cover this 10-point spread? Probably. But do I really want to bet on the Washington Commanders 10 points? I probably will end up doing that. So we'll go with the Commanders 9.5 points. Patriots at Dolphins. Now, I do see a spread for this game. 7.5-point spread for Miami. Now, I'm starting the Miami Dolphins defense in fantasy, but I'm actually a little worried because Drake May looked actually kind of decent in week number 11. Drake May and the Patriots, they kind of hung around with the Los Angeles Rams. They kind of had the passing attack looking pretty good. That receiver, man, they keep saying the word, what's his name? Kayshon Boutte, right? Like, he low-key, he's getting like 5 or 6 targets, 5 catches per week. And he's young. He's like 22 years old, 23 years old. He could be a decent sleeper type guy if you're in a dynasty league. Go check that out. But I think the Dolphins should successfully win this one right here. Devon Achane had a nice bounce back game in week number 11. Week 12, Dolphins 7.5 points. I don't like that. I'm not going to lie. I don't like that spread. I'm not going to be betting this spread at all, but I'll go with the Dolphins money line. Chiefs at Panthers. Kansas City Chiefs, as of right now, as I'm recording this, they were down by 9. Now they're down by 2. So the Chiefs might actually win. And if I chose the Bills, so the 9-3 might be 8-4. We'll see. I'll have it updated in the comments and all that stuff. Chiefs, they're hanging out with the Buffalo Bills. They're playing a decent game. And this is considering, I mean, the first play of the game, Mahomes threw an interception. So it's a good battle. It's in Buffalo. Can't really read too much into it. As of right now, Travis Kelce's done nothing, which is kind of concerning. They're playing the Carolina Panthers. They're going to win by 40. And the spread's not out yet. Buccaneers at Giants. The New York Giants, kind of a weird team to predict right here. Malik Neighbors, non-factor. Tyrone Tracy cost them their last game against them. They lost to the Panthers. And the Buccaneers should be getting Mike Evans back. Surely the Buccaneers come back and murder the Giants. Buccaneers 3.5-point favorites. Buccaneers -3 seems like a lock. Lions at Colts. Somehow the Colts came back and beat the Jets. Honestly, I don't know how. It was a last-minute attempt from Anthony Richardson running it into the end zone with like 40 seconds left. The Detroit Lions just decimated the Jaguars. I love the fact that they ran up the score in the fourth quarter. They had their starters until like 9 minutes left. They are by 50. Pretty cool thing to see. Detroit Lions should destroy the Colts right here, though, in an easy victory. Pat McAfee ain't going to talk his way out of this one. Give me the Lions by 50. Broncos at Raiders. The Broncos are going to be overrated. I have a feeling they're going to be overrated. People are going to think they're insane. They just mollywhopped the Falcons. And really, I just think the Falcons' defense is trash. Worst defense I've ever seen in my life. Kirk Cousins had a bad game. We know he's volatile. If Kirk Cousins doesn't throw over 400 yards, the team's not going to win. So it's as expected. The Broncos have a really good defense. Do I trust Bo Nix? Definitely not. Devon Bailey. Troy Frank. The receivers are stepping up in a big way. I just don't think that it's what's the word? It's consistent. It's continuable. I don't think it's continuable that they're going to be able to play and put up 40 points per week. They do have the Raiders, though. The Raiders aren't a great team. So I think the Broncos should be the favorites here to beat the Raiders. Cardinals at Seahawks, battle of the birds. Things get glitchy with the NFC West, battle of the birds. The Seahawks are actually coming back right now against the 49ers as I'm making this. Could be another loss for me. They have a minute left, down by 4, and they're heading towards the Reds. Any sack. Okay, great. I think the Seahawks are not going to necessarily be my favorite right here against the Arizona Cardinals. Yes, they're going to have home field advantage, but I think that the Cardinals, they just mollywhopped the Bears in week number 9. They had the bye week. No, they didn't even have a bye. No. They mollywhopped the Bears. They mollywhopped the Jets, winning by like 20 points every single time. Then they had the bye week, and now they're fresh going to Seattle. I like the Cardinals. I think they'll be underdogs, but I like Arizona. 49ers at Packers. This is a really, really hard game to predict. I would not bet on this game whatsoever. And this game's in Green Bay. I'm going to go with the Packers. I think the Packers should be underdogs. Give me the Packers like +3. I think that's a fair spread for sure. We'll see what the actual spread is. Home field advantage typically. I'm going to go with the Packers if they're 3-point dogs or less or more. Yeah, so give me Green Bay. Eagles at Rams. This is going to be a good Sunday Night Football matchup. Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. The Eagles defense, Quinyon Mitchell has shut down every single receiver he's faced all year long. Cooper DeJean's pretty solid. They have a young, really solid defense. Defensive line's good. I think Matt Stafford's going to get sacked 5 times. You can bet on that. Go ahead and run that up. In Los Angeles, I think this is going to be a very competitive game. I think it's going to be low scoring, so maybe the under hits here. The Eagles are 2.5-point favorites heading into Los Angeles. And I'm going to say that Saquon can get it done here. I think the Eagles are going to win, but I don't know. It really comes down to can they stop Puka and Cooper Kupp both and get the pressure on Stafford. I think the Eagles defense will be able to do that. I think it'll be a nail-biter. I like the Eagles to win. Ravens at Chargers. Monday Night Football right here. Chargers, haven't seen them play on Sunday night. I have the Bengals as dogs beating the Chargers, but wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers win whatsoever. Another primetime game here. I'm betting against the Chargers for a second week. Prove me wrong on Sunday night. I think the Ravens bounce back. Lamar Jackson had basically no touchdown passes till he had, the fourth quarter touchdown pass to Zay Flowers at the last second. And they looked so bad. But the Ravens should bounce back here in a nice way, I think, and beat the Chargers in an important game if they want to remain in the playoff talk. And there it is. That's the picks for Week 12. A lot of teams on bye. Rip the fantasy teams. Smash the like and subscribe button. Tell me who you got. Peace out. Thanks for watching.